So what do you guys want to talk about? I want to talk about what happened last Monday night on Raw, as there's not a lot of things going on in the sports world. We are still waiting on LeBron James Watch Decision 4.0. Of course, the U.S. men's national team did lose last night in the World Cup. I'm not the biggest soccer guy. Don't ask me about any of the rules of soccer. And there's not a lot going on in the sports world, like I said, except for what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. So that's what we're going to talk about today on the July 7th, 2026 edition of Brandon's World. As always, we're in collaboration with the one, the only Voted Live. My social media links are in the description below. We knew it was going to be a huge Monday Night Raw going into the All-State Arena, not only because they were in Chicago, but based on what happened on SmackDown. Everybody was talking about this all week, that Cody Rhodes was going to get his rematch for the undisputed WWE Championship against Sami Zayn on Raw. And everybody said, well, it's happening on Raw because CM Punk's going to come back. And the big question was, is he going to screw Sami Zayn out of the Undisputed Championship, or was he going to screw the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes out of the Undisputed WWE Championship? Well, in kayfabe, if you were actually watching the product and listening to the show, the reason why Adam Pearce booked this match for Raw is because he is the essential interim general manager of SmackDown, along with being the general manager of Raw, because Nick Aldis got sent home because of his altercation with Gunther, because they're having a match for SummerSlam, and Adam Pearce believes he does his job better than Nick Aldis, and because he's the general manager of both shows, but he's the primary general manager of Raw. Roman Reigns was not there this week because Roman Reigns can do whatever Roman Reigns wants because he is the tribal chief. He is the OTC. And Adam Pearce decides to front load this Monday Night Raw with three championship matches: a World Tag Team Championship match where Maxine Dupree finally makes her choice, leaves Alpha Academy and joins the Vision. A Women's Intercontinental Championship match where Sol Ruca hits a beautiful soul satchel on Raquel Rodriguez to retain their championship. And then an Undisputed Championship match, which is scheduled to be Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes. And I say scheduled to be because when WWE does their typical, walk-up entrances to start the show, Sami Zayn is backstage and he ends up meeting Cody Rhodes. And Sami starts talking to Cody and says, Cody, I know what you think. This is going to be so easy. I'm just going to get my title back. Sami's only going to be champion for 9 days. And Sami Zayn says, no, Cody. You're not just going to get this title back like you're Hulk Hogan, like you're Super Cena. I'm going to prove all the doubters wrong. I'm going to beat you once and for all. And Ook comes from behind and attacks the American Nightmare, none other than the Ring General Gunther, who again was sent home because of Nick Aldis, but he shows up on Raw, apparently to talk to Adam Pearce about potentially joining the Monday Night Raw brand. And he attacks Cody Rhodes and throws his head through a car door. And Cody's all busted. And of course, Adam Pearce sends Gunther home. And now they got to figure out, okay, is Cody eligible to compete? And Nick Aldis is there as well. Nick Aldis is apparently there to also have a meeting with Adam Pearce to talk about potentially getting his job back. Um, that there obviously is a little iffy in the storyline. But where Nick Aldis comes into play is later in the night, they're doing a medical examination on Cody, and the doctor says, Cody, you're not eligible to compete. And Cody says, I'm fine. And Adam Pearce says, no, Cody, you're not eligible. Let's go to the hospital. Let's get some scans. I'm thinking, okay, Cody Rhodes is going to come out of an ambulance here and try to be Super Cody, but that's going to be their excuse for Sami Zayn to win the title. Is Cody's brain is going to or something where Cody goes to a crossroads and he malfunctions, and that's how we're going to get to Sami Zayn Cody Rhodes rematch down the line at SummerSlam maybe. But then they say, okay, clearly Cody is not eligible to compete. Sami Zayn says, I don't want to defend the championship on this show. I want to defend the championship at SummerSlam. And then Pearce says, Sami, we're in Chicago. And when Adam Pearce says that, I knew that meant CM Punk was going to come out, that CM Punk was going to be Sami Zayn's challenger for the Undisputed Championship. Nick Aldis even says, I called in a favor to someone. And that's how, in my opinion, you're going to get CM Punk transferred over to the SmackDown brand because Nick Aldis, who is still, in his mind, the SmackDown general manager, made the call to CM Punk. That's how you're going to get CM Punk fully on SmackDown. As the rumors suggest when CM Punk comes back, they have the match. And the interesting thing about this match was, to me, there was no guarantee that CM Punk was going to walk out the undisputed champion. And you may think I'm crazy, but you could go two very different directions with the Sami Zayn character. The direction they went with was Sami Zayn did win the championship and Night of Champions fair and square. He is the last real good guy. He did it with no interference, no cheating, no nothing. But Sami wants to be a heel. The old Sami Zayn would want to defend that championship the way he did defend the United States Championship and open challenges every single week. That is not this Sami Zayn, which again gives you an indication that this Sami Zayn on character is a heelish character. It goes back to my belief. And again, WWE has been telling more stories like this, where baby faces cannot like baby faces, heels cannot like heels, but they can get along or they don't get along. There's not necessarily a baby face and a heel dynamic. Here there was, because Sami Zayn was clearly the heel and CM Punk was in his hometown, where you can make an argument CM Punk at this point is as big as Michael Jordan in Chicago. And so there was two different directions they could go with it. One, Sami Zayn, by an underhanded acting, maybe by disqualification, maybe by desperation, retains the undisputed championship and sends the crowd home in Chicago disappointed. And you could do a triple threat with Sami as champion against Punk, and then maybe Cody Rhodes gets involved. That's your SummerSlam direction. The other direction is, let's send our hometown crowd happy after Sami Zayn and CM Punk with two go to sleeps. What did CM Punk and Sami Zayn with a haluva kick, a go to sleep, a 1, 2, 3, and just like he did in 2011 when he blew that kiss to Vince McMahon, blow that kiss to the WWE Universe and walk out of the All-State Arena and new undisputed WWE champion. And a lot of people are saying, justice for Sami, justice for Sami, justice for Sami. I get it. You guys all wanted Cody Rhodes to win the undisputed championship at WrestleMania 39. He didn't. He won the undisputed championship at WrestleMania 40. And then what happened as soon as Cody Rhodes won the undisputed championship? Everybody's been saying, I'm sick of Cody Rhodes. Remember, Cody Rhodes wanted to finish his story. And now we don't want Cody Rhodes near the undisputed WWE championship. It's funny how quick the fans can change. Remember, everybody was so happy when Jey Uso broke out of the bloodline and Jey Uso should take the championship from Roman Reigns. And as soon as Jey Uso won the World Championship from Gunther at WrestleMania 41, it was, oh, we're so sick of this Yee. This guy's unserious. I'm telling you right now, the fact that Sami Zayn is no longer the undisputed champion, because I was on this page that if Sami was going to face Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, I did not want Cody being the champion against CM Punk, as the rumors might have suggested. I wanted Sami Zayn to face Cody Rhodes as champion at SummerSlam. But you're telling me that now CM Punk is the Undisputed Champion? And listen, there's so many different directions they could go with this. At Saturday night's main event, the world's most famous arena in New York City, you could have CM Punk defend the Undisputed Championship against Sami Zayn. That's where Sami Zayn could get his one-on-one rematch. You could have him face the Ring General Gunther and maybe Nick Aldis, cause Gunther. I mean, think about that. A SummerSlam rematch from last year. We do it in the world's most famous arena. And Nick Aldis is the one who comes back out of suspension and costs Gunther the title. And that's how you get to Gunther Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, you could do a triple threat between CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, or you could do CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, and there's many different stories Sami Zayn could tell. I think this last real good guy character is just getting his feet off the ground because now that Sammy lost the Undisputed Championship, now maybe he doesn't do it the right way, right? Maybe he tries to go for underhanded tactics. Maybe he's the one that tries to wake up Johnny Gargano eventually. And I still think there's a world where, listen, at WrestleMania 43, what if Sami Zayn is the one who wins the Royal Rumble next year or wins the Elimination Chamber and goes on to win the Undisputed Championship as a pure babyface in Riyadh? Who does he do it against? I don't know. Listen, WWE has this massive problem right now, and if you're not paying attention, that's because you're not watching the product. LA Knight has been on the precipice of being a world champion for years. Obafemi is the future of WWE. Braun Breaker is the future of WWE. Trick Williams is the future of WWE. Javon Evans is the future of WWE. Logan Paul, I believe, is the future of WWE. Dominic Mysterio, I believe, is the future of WWE. What do all six of those guys, or let's see, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Javon Evans, Logan Paul, yeah, six guys. What do all six of those guys have in common? They have all never been world champion, and I would add, they all deserve to be world champion. But guess what? You have guys like Gunther, who has never won the big one, the undisputed WWE Championship. You have guys like Evan Owens, who we assume at some point this year will be back in the fold. You have guys like Randy Orton, who still arguably has not concluded their arc with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. You have Cody Rhodes still working. You have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns still at your disposal. Not everybody can be world champion, and there's not time to tell stories. And listen, this first Sami Zayn WWE Championship, was it perfect? No. But sometimes in life, we have to do what's different, and sometimes what we want in life is not what we get. And I'm not here saying that I'm a little bit disappointed that Sami Zayn only got 9 days, the last real good guy WWE champion, but maybe this last real good guy character doesn't need the WWE championship. Maybe the story of the last real good guy isn't really about the WWE championship. Or maybe it's about Sami going from a heel back to a babyface, because I've always believed Sami Zayn does have a natural connection with the crowd. Sami Zayn is a natural babyface, right? But when you've gone after championship opportunity after championship opportunity after championship opportunity after championship opportunity, and you can't get the job done, maybe it's time to change. Maybe we should be thinking about that with LA Knight, who's stuck in this endless loop with the bloodline. Because again, there's so much talent out there that WWE's roster right now, which is why they're letting go of guys like Sheamus and the New Day. And you could argue they should let go of guys like Finn Balor. Because let's face it, guys, it's been over 10 years. And, Sheamus is a good mid-card guy. I get it. He's not going to get another world championship run in WWE. I'm not upset at the fact he's leaving. I'm not upset at the fact that the tag team division has passed the New Day by. It's time to get new blood. This is a new era of WWE. And I'll tell you this right now. If you tell me at SummerSlam this year for 3 matches, our top 3 matches are CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship one final time, and Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, that is the best card WWE can put together all year long, no cap. If you guys remember around WrestleMania, I said I did not think WrestleMania was going to be this WrestleMania level card, because I looked at it down the road and I said SummerSlam in Minneapolis. I thought they were going to make up Minneapolis for not giving them WrestleMania a couple years ago. And I thought SummerSlam was going to feel more like WrestleMania. And I feel that even more so in my bones today. For those of you tweeting, hashtag justice for Sami, you just don't get it. Was I the one last night who, when the idea first came up, said, yeah, they should probably keep the championship on Sammy, and it would be more interesting if they keep the championship on Sammy. Yeah. But I thought this was going to all lead to Cody Rhodes getting the title back, not CM Punk carrying the flagship of SmackDown. And listen, Punk could very well lose the championship to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And then they can go on to tell that story. And you got to really look at Crown Jewel right now, right? Crown Jewel is in November. I get it. It's still 4 months out. But that's champion versus champion. And if Roman Reigns does retain the Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam, look who you could give Roman Reigns a challenger for a Crown Jewel. You could obviously run Roman Cody for it. You could run Roman Punk too. You could run Roman Sami Zayn too, back from the days of Montreal, and now you're going to do it in Saudi Arabia. Sami Zayn's basically second hometown. Or you could run a Roman Reigns Gunther program, which we've never seen before. There are so many freaking possibilities. Again, watch the product. Going in, I think a lot of people had anxiety going into the show over the fact that we all thought Cody could win the Undisputed Championship back, and that's what WWE wants. They want you to think something. They want you to tell a story for us. I love when they do angles at the start of the show, and it leads to something massive in the main event. And that's what happened last night on Raw. It was simple, basic storytelling at its finest. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Listen, you don't have to like WWE. You don't have to like everything WWE stands for right now with TKO. I certainly don't. From my perspective, the only thing that can ruin SummerSlam right now is what TKO is going to do to TKO it up the way they did WrestleMania. But the Second City Saint is the Undisputed Champion. A phenomenal match, a phenomenal show, and I do feel like WWE is starting to gain some momentum back. I know a lot of people don't feel that way because a lot of people are angry. Rah, WWE bad, AEW great. Fact of the matter is they're both good and they're both bad in their different ways. So I'm going to leave my TED Talk at that. And for that, thank you for listening to the July 7, 2026 edition of Brandon's World. As always, my social media links are in the description below. We're in collaboration with the one, the only Voltage Live. For those of you that aren't fans of the Second City Saint, try to enjoy your Tuesday. I promise you, life will go on. And with that, peace. Like that clip from the Brandon's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brandon's World podcast right here on YouTube.